So, like I said, about 50 yards ahead of you, there's this huge egg-like rock that has been cracked in the middle. The thing stands about probably 20, 25, or no, probably even more than that. Probably around 50 feet tall. And it has this fairly big iron chain that's now kind of draped across it. Down at the very bottom, you see just a like crystalline, strange shape where the rock has cracked.
Hmm. Do I recognize these crystals, I wonder?
From a distance, you don't really.
Oh, I might if I move closer. Got it. Well, gentlemen, should we investigate?
We've come this far.
So
These berries
as
smell delicious.
as you approach, the smell, like even though you're clearing it out with fire, it's still hanging there. Like you can still tell it's you can feel it on your skin, and you look to see what appears to be massive foot sticking up from the ground, and you get a little bit closer and you see another foot, and it's covered in rotting algae and moss. And then you start to see some legs, and then you see a center mass that appears to be this crystal, this light crystal that seems to be hollowed out. And finally you see just this massive, massive creature that looks something like this. If I can get it to show.
I see it.
Yeah, it's up there on the top. But it's laying there lifeless, dead, decaying, disgusting. Everything it touches is just the most evil, rotten piece of filth that it possibly could be.
I'm gonna say I recognize it from my childhood.
Sure, spout some lore.
Have to roll for that?
You do. Intelligence, please.
Okay. Yep.
You do. You recognize this as a god of nature. And from your roots, because your people were very close to nature, you had heard many tales of how to save the land, this god had given up its heart to be protected by a lesser species. And as long as it lived, the forest would thrive. The forest would be beautiful, and all the creatures within it would be able to live long, happy lives. But if the creature were to die,
God damn it,
the
gentlemen, we killed the
forest
forest.
would die.
I killed the forest. Damn it. God damn it. Guilty bastard.
What did you do?
When I saved the princess of the gnomes, the heart in the jar.
What?
Yes, I'll tell you the story later. The bit is, there was a heart in a jar, and, well, it might have been this creature's heart.
You're pretty sure it was this creature's heart.
Why?
I'm pretty sure it was this creature's heart.
Let
Why?
me preface this as he healed me and forgot how to heal, and then was like, "Oh yeah, I got this."
Why did you do this?
Kenshin,
did
you were
not
there
know.
too.
I was not present for any of the kerfufflery.
No, but you were there when the king gnome opened the
No,
jar
that was
to.
that was in a different room.
You were the one that was
You were
carrying
there.
it.
No, I gave it to Edward to give to him.
Ah,
Yeah.
It was Edward's deal. I had just recently arrived and was there as simply hired muscle.
So yes, the gnomes and I killed the forest. I'm sorry.
Why?
I did not know. The heart that I
Just
remember
like he
from this
didn't know how
creature.
to heal.
Shut up. The heart that I remember from this creature was. It had a brilliant glow. Much like a diamond under a light. The heart from the jar was black and decrepit. I had no idea.
But if you
Well, gentlemen, you're standing at the corpse of a god.
I have an
Edward
idea.
has. Yes. What is your idea?
I will forfeit my own heart. I will save the forest.
I'm sorry, you mere human. I don't believe your heart would be able to take place of the god's heart. You haven't done too many godly things.
Then I will create a heart.
Well, from what you guys can tell, if this death and decay continues to spread, first it's gonna reach the rebels, and their fort is gonna be in a bad way. Eventually, you don't know for sure. You could probably take some time to maybe study and figure out, but it will reach the Gost. It will reach Tullerhagen. It will reach the water table. And this forest is going to be in a really, really bad way. In not that much time.
Can I climb inside of it like a mecha and pilot it?
You climb on top of it, and it's solid. Solid like a rock. Forward. Like a truck.
Yeah.
It's covered in just slime and nasty, dead sludge. You look out, and there's this huge, probably a good 3-foot diameter stake that has been pounded into the ground, and this chain is wrapped around it as well. The chain links from here, it kind of goes across the ground. It's also covered in tons of rust and just gunk, and it goes around loosely hanging from the rock.
Kenshin, my friend, could you destroy the chain?
easily.
I have an idea.
I'm going to stride over to the chain and smack it.
Do you take some time looking for like what appears to be the most weak link?
Oh yeah, I study it for where to strike.
You find one specific link that's been just covered in water and goop, that it's almost pure rust-colored orange and flaking off. There's already chunks that seem to have fallen off of it. So you come down with one clean swipe, and the chain breaks and falls into two pieces.
Can we move this creature, or is it too big?
Oh no, this creature, if it was standing up, it would probably be about 30 feet tall.
Yeah,
And
where does
it's
that
made
land?
out of stone and solid crystal.
I was gonna drag it to the ocean.
Oh,
it fix
dear.
the problems.
Why? It is an earth spirit. Why would you drag it to water? Do you know nothing of the spirits?
I know a great many things, but the spirits are not one of them.
Sirach, what are you doing?
Where is our bard when
I'm-
we need him?
I'm gonna be kind of investigating the egg-like structure.
Okay.
Not getting too close to the crystals, but kind of poking around that area.
It's a massive rock that seemed. Imagine an egg that was a rock that floated up in the air, and a god resided in it and lived in it.
Can we fix the egg rock?
Is there any salvageable furniture?
No, like there no, it's a whole bunch of rock.
Yeah.
If you had to
Outside-
guess, because this god had his heart protected elsewhere, he used this rock as kind of his safety.
It was
'Cause it did
basically
so good.
just a shell.
Yeah. You do see, as you're looking over this rock, though, engravings that you recognize from the Ghost camp. A lot of the similar markings on it, scratched into the rock. A few of them appear to be like not new, but not shaved down over years of wear. Probably within the past 10 years.
From the Ghost.
Yeah.
But does it speak deep? Sorry. Can I read these? Like, can any of us read the writing?
It doesn't look like alphabetical in nature. It looks symbolic. A lot of nature-based stuff, like trees and flowers and the sun rising, wind, symbols for wind, that kind of stuff.
Hmm. Now, is there any sun coming into this area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sun's beating down pretty much from straight on above you. Between the temperature and the smell, you all just feel like you have been bathing in hobo shit for weeks. It's a nasty place to be. There's mosquitoes pecking at you, flies buzzing all over your faces.
Okay, so we feel like we're Rohan.
Pretty much, yeah. Like Rohan after a week of wrestling with his men, I would say.
Yeah. Thought I had something for this.
What kind of crystalline? Am I able to recognize what it is?
Can we recharge it?
Do you guys wish to study it closer and perhaps someone aids another person to do so?
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna need to do.
What would it be for studying intelligence?
Discern, reality, wisdom.
Okay,
I
so
got a
aid me.
16.
I use intelligence, so I have an 18.
Aid is plus bond, so
Oh, do you have a bond with me?
Yeah, right at the land.
Right, I don't have a bond with you, so.
roll 2d6 plus bond. You aid.
Oh,
All right, you get a plus 1.
Yep, so
Boon.
an 8.
That. Wait, I said wisdom. You rolled intelligence.
My discern realities is with.
Intelligence. Okay. What is your question then, my friend?
Uh,
How do we start you?
why aren't you alive? What here is useful?
Okay. And you're looking for how to revive
To maybe
God?
resurrect it, yeah.
Well, you've heard the tales of how this creature gave up its heart for the forest, and as you kind of get closer and closer to the cavity, you can see a spot where there's actually a crack in the crystal where his heart would have been. And there's nothing but just like that crack that resides now. There is a lot of, again, this black plant-like material that seems to be forming in there. If you had were to imagine the veins and everything were still there, even if the heart wasn't. So it seems like this creature did need its heart to survive.
I have a soul gem.
I doubt it contains a god soul.
Oh, but it's an ancient wizard.
Oh, from that skeleton? From the forest?
Yeah, like a way long time ago. The elite skull, soul, skull. God, where's the set of defibrillators when you need one?
There's probably someone somewhere in the forest, or maybe something that might know how to revive this god.
Listen, I don't
Whether
think the
you
gas is like
all
us.
decide to bring this up to the groups that might be in danger is up to you. If you wish to take
Yeah.
this knowledge back to,
Those giant spider things.
yeah, I mean, they live on the cliffs, so they may have heard. Who knows? They're spiders. Kojimi. Spider bat hand things.
If they live on nature, they would notice the thing. Maybe they would know the god. And if that fails, we go to the ghast. Ghost. Ghasty ghost. If that fails, well, we'll just burn the corpse. Nobody has to know.
No. People need to know.
No. 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 Nobody has to know.
Well, folks, it doesn't seem like there's too much here. So what do you want to do with this information of the dead god in the forest?
I think this particular party would be the best party to talk with the goths.
Yeah.
Well, they were the ancient guardians. They may actually know a way to restore this creature.
And I do recommend we pick up, not necessarily flowers or chocolates on the way, but some sort of token.
Can I take a sample of the stuff from the heart? Like the area? Can I scrape out that stuff and put it into something and take it with me?
Sure. It's really black, slimy stuff. So what are you using to pick it up with?
I'm gonna wrap it up in the rebel banner I have.
It's kind of liquidy. So
Oh.
think of rotten moss. It's kind of like that.
Well, I mean, it's not like I have to hold it. I can just put it in the bag of holding.
True, but do you
Well,
want
no,
that to spread?
I can't put it in there. It's living. I forgot about that. Does anybody have any kind of containers?
I could probably have one in my rucksack.
Will it cause damage to somebody holding it?
It's pure decay, so I don't know. Do you want to spout lore about what you know about what happens when the forest dies and if it's something you hold in your hand? I mean, from what you can tell here, it has just this this death scent has killed all plant life, kills trees, it starts destroying rock, it destroys metal and iron on like the chain.
Well, I was gonna have my unseen servant hold it.
How?
I can hold things.
If it's unseen, it can't be seen holding things. It remains unseen.
Conjure a simple invisible construct that can do nothing but carry items.
Yeah,
It cannot pick up items on its own, and it can only carry things you give to it.
exactly. So what are you putting it in is what I'm asking.
I don't know. I would ask them if they had a jar or something. Somebody's got to have the adventuring gear. It's got to have something.
Yeah, I've got adventuring gear.
Okay.
I probably got a jar of water.
Like a canteen or something.
Yeah. And then you wrap the canteen in the banner.
Yeah, as you put it into this canteen, you start even hearing like sizzling and popping. You had to guess that you probably have maybe a week before it destroys the lining of the canteen and begins flowing out.
Well, it's time to get it to the ghast.
We've got a canteen full of sludge, the knowledge of a dead god. What do you all wish to do, and where do you want to go?
There's
From-
probably only 2-3 days through the forest to the camp.
Where you're standing now, to your right, the trees begin to become lighter, not as thick, and you can see some mountains off in the distance.
We either go here
Straight
or we go
ahead.
to Tulehagen.
Of you see the forest is fairly thick, but there's enough clearing past like the rock and stone to see some glimpses of water. Fair distance away, you can't tell like the shape or anything like that. To your left is just thick forest, and to your rear is fairly thick forest. To your back right, you can see some mountains with some snow on the top.
How close are we to the coast?
It took you a good probably
Somebody gets-
half a day to get where you camped and another half a day to get where you are now.
So, well, I mean, I don't know how it would work. We could split the party, couldn't we?
I don't know what you're trying to do. You guys can
Well-
do whatever you want to do.
I was thinking of riding to the coast and trying to summon the sea god.
The sea god.
Yeah, there's a forest god. Why not a sea god?
Know how to summon gods now.
No, but I'm sure if I piss it off enough, it'll come out. Nobody likes fireballs thrown at their face.
This sounds like an interesting conversation for the group to be having. What's your input there, Kenshin and Sirach?
I'm kind of going. Let's just hoof it through the forest towards the Goth.
Engine? I have murdered nature. I'll take it upon myself to fix it.
Yes, you have.
This is why I'm saying I'll go to the coast and try to commune with the sea god. But if you two think we should go and visit the Ghost, I can go.
Well, the Gosp are the traditional guardians. There may have been some kind of.
Or hell, I could probably even run back to Tulehagen and see if I can get the heart.
I'm not going to Tulehagen because if I go to Tulehagen, bad things are going to happen now that I know that this is what has happened. Well, I don't know what I necessarily feel about trying to cross country to the Ghost.
Well, the Ghost are a sure thing for information, at least.
Yeah. So let's head towards the Ghost.
Okay. So where you're facing now, there's thick forest ahead of you, to your left and behind you. To your right, you have mountain, and the forest tends to clear out. So which way would you like to go?
We only have so long. We might have to forge through the forest. Any better ideas, anyone?
Well, we could go.
Can we tell how long it'll take for,
To go back out and around, it's probably going to be about a week. We'd be risking that jar.
well, I mean, can we tell how long it's gonna take for all this stuff to spread?
Hmm. Does anyone know? I would say, Sirach, you know enough about this that you might be able to take a closer look at everything and get a better idea.
Just kind of based on the rate of decay of things in the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We'll go back. You all heard this happen. You probably just don't remember it. But if you remember how long ago it was that you destroyed the heart, in about 5 months, you could probably try to find the edge of it and find a way to track how far you're going and get a good idea. This is how far it's moved in 5 months. We'll know how much further it moves in.
Well, it hasn't reached the Ghost yet, so if we ride to the Ghost while tracking how far we're moving, and then we'll come to the edge of whatever this is, we'll be able to figure it out.
So you're gonna go straight towards the thick forest where you think you can see some water. You're gonna go left to where you would think is heading back to like Corazon Mundo, that area through the thick of the forest itself. Head back towards the coast. Head towards the mountains. Which way are you guys going?
I'd probably suggest going this way. That's a good 2 days journey, maybe?
If your icon is accurate.
It'll probably be more like 3 or 4, but with the terrain.
I mean, I think actually we did go. Probably ended up more over in here, because we did go into the forest towards the creature,
I'll be
the
right back.
god.
I would say through the thick forest you could go probably 30, 35 miles.
So that's a day and a half. Yeah, probably 2 days. And we have horses, so but we'd have to be careful not to basically kill the horses to get there. I think that's our best bet, though.
So you all take a left, start heading into the deep forest. It's getting deeper. The smell is still hanging over, but as you go for an hour, 2 hours, it starts to fade. 2.5 hours, you kind of get to the point that you're starting to see new plant life popping up. Trees start to get their leaves back. Things are starting to regain color. You start seeing the small red foxes dart about. Birds are cawing up in the trees. The shadow of the large eagles flying over.
Hang on. Hang on. So, 25, 3 miles. Up. You said 5 months?
About since you were at Tulerhagen.
So, we came out of the stuff roughly 3 miles away from it. whatever, however many days in 5 months divided by 3 miles or whatever is how far it
Well,
spreads.
it's probably about a mile per month. Overestimating.
Yeah.
Well,
something
you
like that.
guys can go, like I said, about 35 miles per day on horseback through this forest, and you've gone about 2.5 hours before you started seeing life.
Yeah, it's we made. We went 2.5 hours. That's 4 miles because I did the divisions on the calculators. So it's about roughly 4 miles from where we found the center of it. Yeah, so probably a couple miles a month. It makes.
That's why I was saying a mile a month is just an
Yeah.
easy. It's going slower than that, but it's not by
Yeah.
much.
So
As you guys are going through the forest, are you trying to are you just walking straight? Are you looking for anything? Are you trying to keep your eye on a specific?
well, I've got Daisy keeping an eye out for anything trying to sneak up on us, and
Here's we're talking landmarks.
Again with
Yeah.
this. Why does he think I can look for stuff?
look,
Stand
you're
this.
on the horse. Shut up.
Yes, Edward. I'm keeping my eye out, of course.
And I'm doing mental math as we're walking, trying to figure out how far this is spreading and what's happening.
Well, knowing
I'm assured Kenshin is keeping an eye on things.
Kenshin is figuring where he thought we were based on things that we should either be passing within the outer limits of the old logging camp or near the Grove of Lost Children.
And we should be probably about right here.
Yeah, after another.
So if we were seeing marks on the trees, then
After about another hour or so, yeah, you start to see really old marks on the trees. They're worn out, but they're there. You kind of just follow those.
Yeah. We'll kind of follow those to.
So you keep following those for a few hours. The sun starts to fade down into the night, and you get to the point where the moon has now risen up. It's getting really hard to see the marks on the trees because they're almost faded into the bark completely at this point.
We should make camp, gentlemen and lady. We'll be able to find our way in the dark.
agreed.
All right, so we're back to managing the provisions.
Same order as last time.
Yeah, might as well.
Roll us a wisdom log. Wisdom is food, right? Yeah, I think so.
Am I taking care of the food
Yeah.
again?
Yeah. Faison's gonna take first watch. I'm gonna walk the circle around the camp and then let Faison take first watch. So.
Everybody takes their one ration.
One.
Daisy is looking at you questioningly. Have you been feeding her your rations, or?
Yeah, I've been splitting my rations with her. I've been taking half rations and she's having the other half.
Everybody can heal up to whatever is equal to half your max HP
The
if you
spider's
sleep for a few hours.
By the way, the spider just kind of sinks into the ground and disappears.
Okay. Are
Because
you
it-
de-summoning them, or?
Well, it's I think it's.
Is it
where
based on day?
I think so. Where did it say? It said
I'm pretty sure the injured spider was just laying back in the sneaky grove.
Never
no,
got
it
up.
would've been following. It yeah, I guess I'm gonna dismiss it.
Yeah, it just the same way it rose from the ground, it sinks back into the ground, and you feel the kind of tension headache you have when you summon these things fade away. What order are we taking watch?
I think Phazon's first, and then I'm second watch.
Yeah.
But I've got the alarm spell around the base, so around the campersons.
Okay, back. That was strange. Literally everything just muted up on my PC. So rewind one moment. What order are we taking watch?
Phazon, and then me, and then probably Hawk.
So you guys all settle in. The moon is risen into the sky. The night's fairly clear. It's still fairly warm. I'm thinking like 80 degrees. Still kind of sweaty, especially by the campfire. It's almost too warm to be hanging out there. Sirach, you are keeping a close eye on things. Are you still in your wolf form, or have you gone back to halfling?
Probably for food I went back for halfling, but I'm probably gonna go back to wolf for the actual like watch, so I can
Okay. Go ahead
just
and
pace around the camp.
roll that for me then. All right, same 3 as before. Are you on like high alert just because you know you're still in the area of those dirty rebels?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like circling the camp and not in like a set range. I'm kind of like weaving in and out as far as how far from the fire I am, and just kind of like I'm real low to the ground, just kind of creeping around, looking and listening.
You don't hear anything other than like the wind, the crashing of the waves. You think you hear the sounds of like almost as if a cart was rolling through the forest down on the roadway, but it doesn't sound wooden, but it does sound like something crunching in a round fashion. But your watch goes by peacefully, and you wake up, Edward.
Oh no. Are you? Is he gonna tell me about the sound? You gonna tell me about the sound?
Yeah, it sounded like a really heavy cart. It wasn't made of wood. It was made of something else.
Alright. Last time we were here, we were attacked by a snake that rolled, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. Rolling snakes are scary.
Sirach goes and curls up, and Edward, you're sitting there listening to the crackling of the fire, and you start hearing sound too. It just sounds like a wheel rolling across the ground, just a steady sound of crackling leaves, and it almost seems like it's getting closer, but not close enough for it to be clear what direction it's coming from. A few red foxes dart by. The screech of one of the eagles kind of makes you jump around.
Having a conversation
With who?
with Daisy.
Woke me up again? Just because you're on watch doesn't mean all gotta be on. Come on. Gotta let a girl sleep.
Calm down. You don't have to be here, woman.
Really?
Really?
Saying I'm free to go.
You can go as soon as we get back to town.
Looks very questioningly. She doesn't trust you. Saying this. And there's a second meaning to your words. And it just sits there silently. Just looking at you, one eyebrow raised.
There, all you want.
The rest
you
of the
know what?
night.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Let's see. Light's a cantrip, so I can use it as many times as I want. I'm gonna grab a rock and put light to it, and kind of chuck it out into the darkness.
All right, go ahead and roll your thing. Yeah, you chuck it into the darkness, and after about an hour or so, that sound rolls back. Why don't you go ahead and roll that take watch as you witness something pass by.
Is that again?
Take
Intelligence again, right?
watch is stay sharp is wisdom. Yeah, you're gonna see it, Edward, but no one else is gonna wake up right away. Two large rolling objects covered in scales roll right past your light. Now that they see the light, they're kind of attracted to it, so they start rolling towards it, and then they see the orange light of the camp. They smell food. And two of these snakes begin charging into camp. They jolt out with a super speed, and they're both going at you. One towards you, Edward, one towards Daisy, leaping over the sleep curled up Sirach and Kenshin, straight towards your faces. What do you do, Edward?
God damn it! I can't get anything right today. How quickly can I summon something?
Not quick enough before you get snake face in your face. They're in the air, 4 feet, or 3.5 feet, 3 feet. They're flying towards you.
What I got?
Massive snake spears going at you, and Daisy, who's probably squealing and backing up.
Can't summon anything fast enough to protect either of us.
Which is what both you, Sirach, and Kenshin hear, is a squeal of Daisy as you both kind of roll on your backs to see these two snakes quickly going over you towards their faces of Edward, who's about to do something epic, I have no doubt.
I'm assuming that they do not know we exist yet.
Okay.
Oh no, they saw the awake folks and want food.
We're gonna do this. I'm going to touch Daisy and make her invisible and shove her out of the way.
Okay. Intelligence. You do. She dives down. This snake going after her clatters to the ground and swivels around. It kind of skitters away a good 5-10 feet and starts turning around to come back into the camp. However, the one towards you hits you square in the chest, knocks you back, and you take 1d6 damage as this thing starts to wrap around you.
So no piercing or anything, so I don't take any damage. Cool.
It starts tightening around you. Kenshin, again, I think you're probably the first up. You see a snake wrapped around Edward, and in the distance you think you see another one approaching him from the rear. What do you wish to do?
Well, Edward's not the most stable of party of folk, so I guess I'm gonna go cut the snake off of him.
Yeah, because that worked last time somebody tried to cut a snake off of me.
It's wrapped all the way around Edward's body, so
Where's its head?
its head is pretty much at his shoulders.
Please don't have a jetpack.
It's still gonna end the same way.
Okay, I'm gonna hack and slash.
Well, it's not attacking you back, so basically you tell me how you're attacking and I'll tell you what you roll.
I'm going to well, cutting it in half is probably the easiest because the middle of its body is the thickest part, right?
Yeah, I think Boa, just this thing can
so
roll for some reason.
I'm gonna pick like the fattest roll on it,
All right.
and I'm gonna
So you're
bury my sword in there.
you're gonna be defying danger, and the danger is piercing Edward along with the snake. So how do you wish to defy said danger?
Um. Uh.
Jeopardy theme plays.
Okay. I'm gonna defy danger by I'm gonna wait for like when it goes to adjust that fat coil to curl him a little tighter.
Oh yeah, take
I'm gonna use my dexterity to, at that precise moment when that coil is the furthest away from Edward's body, to slice it then.
Okay, so it sounds like you're doing quick thinking.
Yeah.
Wisdom, it is.
Oh, thank
Oh
God.
yeah, yeah. It's almost like time slows down, and you can see the rippling of the coil going slowly up the snake's body to get right to the fattest part. It reaches out only mere inches away from the wizard's chest, and you swipe through with your thing, and you slice this thing in half. Edward, you get covered in mess, like head to toe, because remember his weapon is messy. I'm talking head to toe in sticky bits, and there's like chunks of red fur in there. There's bones. It's a complete
Feathers.
mess, head to toe of just snake juice.
Just a thumbs up and a just
However, Sirach, you see that as this snake falls down at Edward's feet, another one jumps up and is now going to try to grab the wizard again from the back. What do you want to do, Mr. Wolf?
Well, I might as well burn one of the holds to kind of leap over them and try and grab it and bring it to the ground.
Okay. So you want to use the hold to get over there quick?
I might as well burn all three, if
Okay.
I'm able to. Basically, to just sprint and then leap.
Absolutely.
And grab onto it and just kind of like spin, take it to the ground.
What color is your fur again?
The wolf.
Yeah.
It's just a metallic gray.
Does he have fur?
So-
It doesn't actually
Did it grow
shine,
back
but
yet?
like in direct sunlight, it looks like metal.
So Edward, you see this form leap over the campfire. Its skin kind of has these blue markings in it, and you look up, and the chest of a wolf kind of pets your face and wipes your eyes clean, so you can see clearly. You can tell this is Sirach. He leaps over you, not touching you, not doing anything, over Kenshin with his sword in his hand, and grabs this snake. Boom! Tacks it to the ground, and he grabs it so perfect, it's right at the edge of the head, so it's pinned. It starts trying to wrap its waist around you, Sirach, but you're able to kind of keep just moving it around, whipping it around. This thing's pinned. Daisy gets up and she's still invisible, and she starts like, why'd you do that to me? You saved me. She starts kind of trying to brush this junk off you, Edward. Kenshin, you just saw Sirach leap over Edward. You can hear scuffling going on between him, and you see movement going on Edward's chest. Like it appears like this bile and stuff is falling off by itself.
Edward is magic. I ignore that. I'm gonna go help Sirach.
You see Sirach has this snake by the edge of it, pretty much
I
its
start
head.
growling.
Well, I'm gonna help him out by making the load a little shorter.
Yeah, it has no attention towards you, so just roll your damage. You slice off like a good probably 2 feet of it, but this thing starts wrapping around you, Sirach. It starts getting you by the waist and pulling you in. It's starting to cut your breath, and after a few moments of squeezing, you start to feel your bones shrink down, and your hair begins to re-enter your body. And within a few moments, the snake now has you in its coils as your little halfling form. Edward, what do you want to do?
Hmm. Well, I can't do anything explosive. I'm gonna I'm gonna summon me a monster to try to rip it off of him.
All right. Roll your intelligence.
Yep. What'd I get there, boss man?
Tell me what your traits are there, Chief.
Uh, one R1d6, right? Roll 1d6 in the traits. So we go. I get all of them.
Tell me what they are again, because I don't have your stuff pulled up.
It has +2 instead of +1 to one stat, so it's gonna have a +2 to strength again. It's not reckless. It does 1d8 damage. Its bond to your plane is strong, +2 health for each level you have. It has some useful adaptation.
So this tree next to you starts to pop like the bark off of it, and it almost splits open from the middle, and out walks this creature made out of pure hardened wood, both hands sharpened into spikes. It stands about 8 feet tall, and with a booming step, it walks towards you, kind of bows.
Free the short one.
You have to for these things.
Uh,
Oh, I think it's based off of what you as a character would do. All right, so the danger is hurting Sirach as well. So, how are you telling this creature to remove the snake?
it's what's its useful adaptation? The spiky hands?
Yeah, it has piercing attacks.
Let's see. It's gonna basically pierce the top bit above this. Do you still have it in your mouth, Faison?
No, he's halfling
Oh, yeah, okay.
now.
Okay, so it's gonna pierce through the head and through the bottom bit, above wherever it got cut, and kind of rip it apart.
So is he trying to be strong and like
Yes, he's just gonna,
uncoil it from him, or
yeah, just jam
careful?
it in there, just kind of uncoil it and just kind of rip it.
Okay.
That's
So you'll yeah.
That's a 10.
So you're defying danger. Basically, the danger is doing it quick enough that Sirach won't be injured. Roll your damage.
So R1d8.
So you pierce it, and as you do, like the snake tenses up before releasing. So Sirach, you take 1d8 squeezing damage, but the snake flops 3, and now it's stuck, kind of flopping around on the edge of this tree summon.
Tree giant thing.
It's still flopping around. It's trying to like twist its body around the edge of this spike hand, trying to take chunks out of the wood, but every time it like lashes into it, it just recoils in pain.
I think the tree thing's just gonna step on it.
Yeah, it does.
What would it be? It would be a tree golem?
Sure. Wood golem.
Sure, would go. It just kind of steps on it and
It explodes in
It's,
goo.
it's the
You get some
halfling
more.
of ints.
Edward, you get more all over your feet and like up to your knees, just snake goo. A little bit, well, quite a bit goes all over you too, Sirach. Kenshin, somehow you're able to completely avoid any mess, somehow. So you're pristine, other than your sword.
Which, of course, as soon as I'm done, gets flicked and then resheathed.
There's now a floating mass, about 5.5 feet tall, of just dripping air and coughing, and it kind of bends over and starts spitting on the ground. You would all think that this is an invisible daisy covered in snake.
she's
Go.
no longer invisible. I released that spell once the danger's gone. By the way,
Yeah,
it's kinda
she's
hard to hold those.
not happy with the snake mess. And as this whole debacle goes on, you start to hear chirping of birds. And you look up in the sky and you see it's still dark, but there's no moon to be seen. It's now been lowered beneath the tops of the trees. You would think that it's early dawn, to guess. So what do you all wish to do? You could finish the night out for a few hours before you left, or
I don't know about you folks, but I would at least like to get cleaned up. Maybe take an hour to clean up, but I'm gonna cut up some of the snake and take it with me because I know it's safe to eat. And plus, I need rations.
is indeed. Roll me a 1d10 for slices, and I'll say it's 1 weight per 5. All right. Yep, 10 slices, 2 weight. Man, the rolls are pretty much with you guys today.
I've noticed. So I have that's 2 extra weight, right?
Yes.
So I have,
Remember, your followers should be able to carry a little bit.
that's did 2 rations or that's 2
No, it's
or
10
10.
snake
Right.
slices, and it's 1 weight per 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 5 of them. That'll give me 6 rations. Another weight, and then I'll give Daisy another 5. I can't edit that, so